My name is Dave Gilson. I'm the president of Gilson Graphics. We're a commercial printer located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Our sales volume is about $24 million a year. We have 165 employees, and one of those employees is Tony Bilecki, who heads up our digital area.
So my name is Tony Bilecki, and I've been with Gilson Graphics for 31 years, and I currently head up the digital short-run print production.
I think the 720 has done two things. I think it's helped our growth. When you look at our digital side, if you include large format and the department that Tony manages, I think it's equal to what we're doing in terms of offset today. And then you add in all the other capabilities that we have. Offset is probably about a third of our business. Digital, large format, and Tony's department is about a third. And so the other 40% is scattered over about 4 other different offerings that we have. When Fujifilm started showing prototypes of the J Press, that immediately caught our interest because that would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It would give us a larger format that we could print in, and more importantly, it'd give us greater productivity. We could get more 8.5 by 11s out with 1 operator.
What we've seen too is for a make-ready standpoint, I mean, on a 40-inch press, you have to buy 400 sheets per side for make-ready, 4x4. We're close to, like, if it's a 500 sheet pocket folder run, and because it has to get die cutting, we might run 600 sheets. I mean, so we've seen our amount of stock go way down. I mean, if it's just a 8.5 by 11 that just cuts and ships out, I mean, we might run 20 sheets additional. I mean, the first sheet off is sellable. Most of our work, I mean, now is getting moved from the Indigo. I mean, we used to run about 1 million clicks a month, and now we're down to about 500,000 clicks a month. And when we had both Indigos, we were running, close to 2 million clicks. So that's the amount of work that the 720 has taken away from the Indigo side.
We also had a Heidelberg SM52 5-color that we got rid of because we didn't need it anymore. It was only a 5-year-old press because all that work migrated to the 720.
We're currently running, we started out at 1 shift on the 720 original, and now we're running 2 full shifts, 5 days a week on the 720. And then we have a 3rd shift that when we get busier, we bring that on, so we run 3 full shifts, 24 hours a day on that press. From a production standpoint, we try to run the same size sheet, same size stock, and if you can gang those up, you can run one right after another. So one of the lines of our business is perfect bound short run books. So we're running book blocks on our W Press 540, and then we're running covers on our 720S. So we'll actually gang those up. Now, back when we were running them before, we were running them on an Indigo 1 up on a 12 by 18 sheet. Now we're running either 2 up or 4 up, depending on the size of the book cover. So we can burn through 20 to 25 different titles, 100 quantity per title in about an hour and a half.
Your best productivity, again, is as Tony mentioned, when we run these book covers, it's the same stock, it's the same size sheet, and we just put it together in a batch and just really go through the work. I hate this press checks. There's no reason to have a press check on this machine. You can make global changes, but you can't make zone changes like you can with an offset press. And again, this was a paradigm shift for me. I thought this was bad, but it's really good because it takes 10 minutes to go on to the next job. I don't have plates. I don't have to worry about making plates, hanging plates, taking plates off and putting them back on the press. I'll just go on to the next job or the next form for the customer. Pre-press will make the change, send it back down, and we'll deal with that form and at the next time when we're done with the additional forms that we're running. So it really isn't an issue in terms of a customer if they do want to make changes on the press.
We do a press pull. If we do any kind of modifications, we'll actually write down plus cyan minus magenta. We'll save that in a drawer. That job comes back 6 months from now. As exact reprint, we pull that sheet out, plug those numbers in, and we match. But then from a variable standpoint, one of the things that the J Press offers is the full size. So we're actually doing 6-page full size variable pieces that Indigos can't do. We actually go to our customers and market this piece because we're the only one in the area that can actually produce those size pieces in a variable content. We have run some jobs. We just ran one recently. Talking variable, we can also do collated sets, so like for signage and stuff like that. We actually ran a job, it was 35 or 40,000 sheets, but based on running it in a collated order, so you bring it over the cutter, you cut it, and it's a whole package of 250 signs, versus running it somewhere else, and then hand collating or running it through a collator.
Our production manager came to me and said he wanted to run this on the J, and I said, "You're kidding me, right?" He said, "No, the customer's really concerned about the collation, that they've had problems with things not being in sets. These sets were going out to executives, and it was very important that every set be complete and that nothing be missing." I said, "We can't hand collate this?" He said, "No, I want to run it on the S Press." And I said, "Okay." Because of the collation, in fact, this particular job, wasn't this the one where the salesperson got called into a conference, and there were 4 or 5 of the people from the customer. He was at the customer's site, and the salesman going, "Oh boy, I wonder what's going to happen here." And this customer told him, "This is the best looking job we've ever seen in terms of not only the collation, but in terms of the quality."
What we've noticed is from a day-to-day basis, the consistency is there. We actually have one customer that will not print any work unless it runs on our 720. So we've locked that line of business in from a fabric standpoint and a furniture standpoint for wood grades.
These are colored chips.
And colored chips. And so instead of the old day where they were actually adhering pieces of fabric to a brochure, we're actually printing the colored chips right on there. Now with the new enhancements to it with the barcoding system, it is a 100% guarantee backup. So we're running 2-side variable every day on that, plus the 2,700 sheets an hour. So that's improved throughput there. So it runs at full speed, both static or variable. So those are 2 of the very big enhancements. It has gone to a modular print head system, so you can actually go in and replace just one portion of the print head if you do need to, and also the drying portion of it, because they've replaced the whole fuser type based roller for drying to IR. Whatever they did between the 720 old ink set to the new S Press 720 ink set, it's just a phenomenal difference as far as from a drying standpoint.
How frequently is our J Press down?
Hasn't been since the new one's been in, and even when the old one was in, it was maybe 2-3 times a year.
Okay. And talk about the upgrade that they're doing to the press.
They want to come in and do some upgrades, and they had a list of upgrades. So Fuji has been really well and works with us as far as understanding that we have to get production out, and they still want to upgrade the press and do things, continue to grow the press into a better press.